A little under a year ago, I made the upgrade from my standard range Tesla Model 3 to the performance version. A few years back, my daily ride was a Model S Plaid, and when Tesla released the refreshed Model 3 Performance, I was immediately drawn to it. It struck me as the perfect compromise, smaller and easier to park than the Model S, but packed with so much functionality and performance that it felt like a Plaid Model S Mini. The full self-driving FSD feature on it was fantastic, and the performance was seriously impressive, with an acceleration mode Tesla fittingly calls insane. While it doesn't drop your stomach quite like the Plaid Model S, Tesla made huge improvements in this Model 3's performance over earlier versions. It was a phenomenal car in many ways. Yet here I am, about a year later, deciding to part ways with it. Why? I want to break down all my thoughts, from financing and leasing options to hidden costs and my evolving needs, so you get the full context of my decision. To start, I run a YouTube channel focused exclusively on Teslas and electric vehicles. That means I'm always interested in the latest models, not just for personal use, but to give my audience fresh, honest reviews. Keeping a car for some time lets me share long-term insights, not just first impressions. Back in 2022, I had the Model S Plaid, which was absolutely thrilling despite some delivery issues. For a while, though, I grew a bit too protective of that car. On one extreme, I chose to rent it out via Turo, hoping to maximize its utility since it was one of the fastest cars you could get. Initially, it did well on Turo because the Model S Plaid carried a premium price tag and was highly sought after. Unfortunately, that success didn't last. I had some rough experiences, renters scraping the bottom, repeated flat tires on the same wheel, and one person even driving dangerously fast in regular streets. I finally called it quits on renting out the Plaid. Plus, the rental demand dropped, cancellations became frequent, and managing it all became more stressful than rewarding. I also had a few other cars on Turo, but I eventually wound down my whole operation. Though I sold the Plaid before it depreciated even more, I took a loss overall. But combined with what I earned from Turo, it somewhat balanced out. Looking back, the Model S Plaid started at about $130,000 and later plummeted to around $90,000 after Tesla dropped new car prices significantly. So much for holding value. Enter the Model 3 Performance. I really missed the exhilarating acceleration of a Plaid, and the updated Model 3 offered a glimpse of that thrill for a much lower price. The refreshed Model 3 Performance brought in upgrades from Tesla's Model S Refresh, including performance wheels, powerful dual motors producing 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.9 seconds, adaptive suspension, track mode V3, sporty seats, carbon fiber trim, a redesigned rear bumper and spoiler, and most importantly to me, a much better sound system than the base rear-wheel drive Model 3, which still comes with a downgraded setup even for long-range models. After test driving it, I was sold on the car's blend of performance, comfort, and features. I took advantage of end-of-quarter deals and got the car, which reignited my Turo business, but with a new approach. While I wasn't great at managing rentals and solving frequent problems, a friend who actually enjoys that side of it offered to help manage my cars. I switched my daily driver to the Performance Model 3 and put my standard range one up on Turo. Right away, the performance upgrade was clear. The car looked incredible, and I opted for white seats, which I think look fantastic in Tesla vehicles. The quick Tesla acceleration was a thrill, especially because the car is nearly silent. But here's the twist. Within a few months, I realized I wasn't really using all that performance. Although the car looks great and the acceleration is fun, the performance model's range is 50 to 65 miles lower than the long-range versions due to added weight, and the ride is stiffer by design. The 20-inch wheels and sport-tuned suspension deliver a more connected road feel, but at the cost of everyday comfort. For someone like me, a traveling drummer with long drives, I found the stiffness taxing. Most of the time, I actually preferred comfort over raw speed. This made me appreciate the Model 3 Performance's role as a true compromise, perfect for someone who wants a daily driver and a track-ready car rolled into one. But I still mostly favored comfort. Meanwhile, Tesla had just released a new Model Y, which I test drove and immediately liked. The Model Y is my personal favorite Tesla now. It blends practicality, comfort, and performance into a versatile package. It's essentially a bigger sibling to the Model 3, but adds more space and design features that stand out. When I bought the Performance Model 3, the new Model Y design either wasn't available or was less appealing than the Model 3, which factored into my decision to choose the Model 3. However, once the refreshed Model Y was out, I knew I had to consider it seriously. I had some experience with early Model Y versions from 2020, including the launch series I initially bought, but those came with some production issues and premium pricing. I also bought the Tesla Cybertruck Foundation series, which turned out to be a good vehicle I enjoy, but the timing was unfortunate as Tesla offered substantial discounts and better deals just months after I purchased it. I wasn't keen on repeating that mistake. The refreshed Model Y launch series came with a lot of features and customization at an elevated price. But I was wary of buying an expensive launch edition that might lose value quickly. Plus, I knew Tesla would soon release a long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y, which tends to offer the best range at the best price. After about 7 months of patience, I got the refreshed Model Y rear-wheel drive long-range version. This new Model Y came with a big change. For the first time, the interior quality and features matched the all-wheel drive models. Tesla no longer downgraded the sound system or certain comforts on the RWD version, which was a significant improvement. The only major difference was in performance and all-wheel drive availability, depending on your driving needs. The 0 to 60 miles per hour acceleration improved significantly too, from 6.5 seconds down to 5.4 seconds, a nice jump that few people highlight, but is very noticeable. For me, this made the rear-wheel drive Model Y the best Tesla overall. It comes at an excellent value, around $45,000 before incentives, and qualifies for a $7,500 federal tax credit. It boasts 357 miles of range, the longest ever for a Model Y, plus all of Tesla's latest interior upgrades like ventilated front seats, power folding rear seats, a new dash design, a stylish new wheel with blinker stalk, acoustic glass for quieter rides, LED lighting with cool new features like album artwork matching, and a rear touchscreen. It even has a front-facing camera that Tesla uses for full self-driving, FSD, which has become incredibly important to me.